This project began with a very traumatic house fire that involved my mom, and it was devastating. It was a devastating event that could have went a bunch of ways, as we all know. It was a house fire and involved all of our stuff. The fact that a human done it, that a human was involved and took action to set our house on fire was even more devastating. It was a feeling of violation, betrayal, and when somebody comes into your privacy and just destroys everything that you know and that you've known from a child. So from the house fire, we tried to rebuild. We tried to get our bearings back, and yeah, it was a tough process. A lot of healing emotionally, a lot of financial distraught from it, and we had to bounce back. It's either you give in or you bounce back somehow. And that wasn't an easy decision to make or an easy thought to come across. It was, I guess, foundation that led me to rebuild this house. It was the foundation from my family and friends and support that really let me know that I was loved out here and that our family was important enough that we didn't need to just run and scurry and start over somewhere else. So, of course, with a situation that traumatic, there's going to be an immense amount of energy produced from negative side and the positive side. I chose to take all of the energy and use it to rebuild the house. That was my concept. And yeah, we needed to rebuild. It wasn't a complicated situation. House got burnt down. There was two options. Either you run or you rebuild and you start over. You could chase somebody and try to find people all you want, but that doesn't get your time back, doesn't get your stuff back. It's all material at the end of the day. So the most logical thing was to do the most logical thing. Trying to build a 4,000 or 3,000 or 5,000 square foot house was out of my comprehension completely. But faith and reading the Bible and listening to the Lord, I learned that was all fear, and fear will stop you from thinking big enough to achieve any real goal in your life. Once a person makes a decision to do something, it's either you act on it or you don't, and I decided to act on it. I decided to do whatever I could do to start to figure out how to build a house, because I've done other things in the building industry before. I've acquired some skill in carpentry and other things from taking on jobs. A lot of people were scared of their tools getting stolen and scared of the lack of security that we had because everything had gotten burnt. And I had friends and family that really stepped in and pushed this situation and believed in what I was saying and helped out. And that was the motivation, that was the strength behind every block getting laid, every piece of cement getting troweled over, every piece of wood getting cut to the right length. That was all from us believing in the final picture together and not letting the other person get discouraged. We had days where everybody had a day or two where somebody was discouraged and mad and upset because, this was not a planned project. This was a project that just had to happen. And it really took a lot of people, it took a lot of the community back to a more civilized day where people got together and figured out other people's problems. It wasn't always about just one family or one situation and they had to deal with that on their own. It took all of us back to a different time, to make it easy. And yeah, it was a liberating feeling to be able to build back after we had been destroyed. And it wasn't easy. Like, the prices of lumber, the price of material is so high right now. Everything is insanely hard to get. So we just continue to find solutions. No matter what the problem is, we find a solution. We put energy towards that because you're gonna have energy expended somewhere. So we put energy towards our solutions. And yeah, when you put energy toward a solution, you stack up and it works.